Consider a scenario now. In your animal class, your speed variable is public instead of private, and you have changed the animal type class implementation a little bit. In your animal type by speed method, now you are taking in animal type object instead of primitive type data, so which will give you animal dot get speed. Sorry about that. Yes, it removed the code a little bit. I don't know why. But anyways, so this is your refactored code. So as I said, instead of the primitive data type, you are taking in animal type object as a parameter of animal type by speed method. Okay, so in your code here, you are taking in animal object instead of animal dot get speed. So what happens now? You still get the proper output, okay, for this input data. What if a new guy came in your team and he doesn't know much about, let's say, programming, and he needs to work on this animal type class and inside this animal type by speed method? Okay, so let's say he unknowingly updated the speed variable of your animal class right here. Okay, so what happens now is that you are not aware of this change. So what happens now is that when you execute this code, you are saying that it's saying that this animal is fast, but this is a mammal. So this is some weird output. You are expecting it to be bird, okay, but it's giving it a wrong output. And again, you change the code to maybe, let's say, 50. So this time you are expecting it to be nocturnal, but it's still showing mammal. So what's wrong about it? So there must be some problem. So, and when you check this animal type implementation, you figure out that there is some mess in the code. The speed variable of animal class has been manipulated here in this animal type class, which you actually do not want it to be. So this is, I would say, this is where encapsulation comes into play. Okay, so if you go back to your code and instead of public made this variable private, your teammate would not be able to update this variable anyhow. He only There was only one option he had, that is he had to create a new instance of animal with a parameter. So it's pretty common that uh, as you are passing the animal object right here as a parameter, he doesn't need to actually initialize this one, so he doesn't get it. He doesn't need to update this, or he doesn't have the permission to change the variable at all. Okay, so now we'll go back to your code. Now your code should work as it should. Okay, the thing is, again, let's say you have the um, setter method here. Okay, so we have the setter method. he can still change the code somehow, manipulate the code somehow if he wants to. Okay, so he can still do the same thing here. Okay, and you will still not get the proper output as you needed. You see, it's giving some messed up output. Okay, so the best practice for encapsulation is that keep your variables or fields private. um, Provide those as the parameter of your constructor. Remove the setters. Okay, and this is how actually you can achieve encapsulation in your code. This is the better practice. Definitely there are many other ways you can follow those if they are much more applicable to your scenarios, but in this situation this is the best use case I can uh, show. So now you have achieved the encapsulation to some extent. Okay. Okay, so now there are a few more things about this encapsulation. What is encapsulation actually? Encapsulation is hiding the data your other components of your software code actually doesn't need to know about, and you are restricting the access of some uh, data from being manipulated by some other component of your software code. Okay, this is basically the encapsulation. So package in Java is a better example of encapsulation. It provides a very good encapsulation. How? Because package actually uh, mm, restricts the collision of the code. Okay, so this is one good example of encapsulation. And encapsulation has, I mean, you can achieve the encapsulation through the access modifiers, as I have shown you that you are using private keyword instead of public in order to achieve the encapsulation to some extent in your code. So there are couple more access modifiers in Java. One is the default, another one is protected. Okay, so these are also used for providing encapsulation on a given situation. For example, your code needs to be accessed by only within your package, but not outside your package. So what you do, you either use default or protected, both do the same thing. But uh, okay, so this is how actually you can achieve the encapsulation on the code level as well. So these are the basic examples of encapsulation. You can there are many different ways. There are very advanced ways of providing the encapsulation as well, so I'm not going deep with that, but these are the basic ways you can provide the basic encapsulation in your code. Okay, this is what a very beginner needs to know. Okay, so the more you practice, the more you are involved in professional coding or software development environment, you will find out there are many different ways. There are better ways, best ways. So this is the basic. You just need to understand how encapsulation is provided, what causes the encapsulation issue, and how you can resolve it. Okay, so this is the aim of this demonstration. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Peace.